go ahead, get up on our feet. We're gonna get started with our warm-up. We're gonna be starting with a bob and weave with some punches. So we're going to step to the side like we're ducking under something. And then when we reach each side, a couple punches. 1-2 combo, 2 punches, whatever you want to do. 30 seconds on that. Ready and begin.
Halfway there.
Going as low as is comfortable for you.
And 3, 2, 1, time.
Great job, everyone. Next one is going to be a squat to a jump. So we're going to go down into our squat position, have our feet slightly wider than shoulder width, toes pointed slightly outwards as we squat down, keeping our weight in our heels and our knees and the toes. And when we get to the bottom, we're going to jump up and land, soft knees, bending as we land so we don't put too much stress on the knees. 30 seconds and begin.
You certainly don't have to add the jump if that is not available to you. You can certainly do about a half squat or so that you're just warming up.
And 3, 2, 1.
Great work, everyone. We're going to stay standing, the same stance for our trunk twist. Just going to be back and forth, side to side, nice and easy. Just warming up that core. Making sure not to twist too hard in either direction. 30 seconds and begin. You have to let your arms go all the way up to the side. A little bit more rotation in there.
$15 seconds left.
Great work, everybody.
And 3, 2, 1, time.
And moving right into our next one's going to be our arm circles. We're going to start with big circles. Going forward. Ready and begin. And big circles backwards. And some small backward circles.
10 seconds left.
And last off, forward circles, small.
2, 1, and time.
So for our deadlifts, we're going to grab our weights if you have them. Also do it with a band, which I will show. It's going to be similar to our RDLs, except instead of just hinging at the hips, we're going all the way down. And like we're picking something off the ground. Deadlift. So our feet, same stance, slightly wider than shoulder width. And have our weight in front of us. Have it resting on our quads. We're going to keep the weight close to our bodies, close to our legs, the whole way down through the movement. Bending at the knees, lowering down, keeping that torso nice and straight line, tight core. Basically the same thing as a squat, except we're just lifting, keeping the weights in line with our legs. 30 seconds, ready, and begin.
This is a complicated movement, so break it down. Hinge at the hips, bend the knees, and then pick that weight up, keeping it close to your legs. You've probably seen this with a big barbell with weights on it that people pick up off the ground. So we're just doing this with hand weights. If you have a bar.
3, 2, 1, time.
Yeah, Cody can show it next time with the band.
Go next on the band. I forgot about that one. going to be the same movement, except you would just be using the band as resistance. We're going to come down onto our floor for these next few exercises. We're going to start off with a floor press. Coming onto our backs, grabbing our weights. Going to bring our heels in towards our butts. Have our weights at our sides. I personally like to have it close to my body, like as if I'm doing a push-up. I'm going to press the weight up towards the sky, squeezing the chest at the top. Keeping that back flat to the ground. If you prefer, you can have the weights or your arms parallel with your shoulders, straight out to the side, and your palms will be facing down towards your feet. Any variation from that to close to your body works. Do whatever is comfortable for you. 30 seconds, ready, and begin. Pressing up away from our bodies, squeezing the chest at the top.
And remember, if you're watching this live, you can pin Cody to be the full screen, because when he's a little further away, it's, you know, harder to see the details.
10 seconds left.
Great work, everybody.
And 3, 2, 1, time.
We're going to stay on the floor in that same position with our knees up towards our butt for our glute bridges. What this is going to look like is we're going to press through our heels, lifting our hips off the ground, hitting until it's a nice straight line from our knees all the way down to our shoulders. Modification on this to make it a little bit more difficult. You can do one leg at a time. So you let one leg hover off the ground, push up, come back to the ground, and then switch. And just alternate legs for the 30 seconds. You can also grab a hand weight and hold it on your hips. All right, 30 seconds, ready, and begin. Coming up until you have a nice straight line all the way down from your knees to your shoulders.
Ten seconds left. And 3, 2, 1, time.
Great work. I'm gonna come up, flip sides. I'm gonna come on to our hands and our toes. We're gonna be doing some mountain climbers. If you do not feel comfortable doing this one, we can just do a plank. And for the plank, as we've done the last few weeks, you can do that on an elevated surface, or on the ground, on your forearms or your hands. And you can even add in the shoulder touches if you're not gonna be doing mountain climbers. The mountain climber is gonna look like in a push-up position. We bring one leg up our knee towards our elbow, and then switch. It's gonna be alternating legs. At your own pace, you can do this on an elevated surface as well, just like modified plank. It's the same thing, just switching legs, almost like you're running in place. 30 seconds on that one. Ready, and begin. You can also,
yeah, go ahead, Cody.
you can also just stand up and do high knees.
Mm-hmm.
So you still get the cardio. Same movement.
Lots of options here. You can plank.
10 seconds left.
This one's tough. This one's tough. You're doing great.
And 3, 2, 1. Great job.
All right, great work, everybody. Catch your breath for a second. Our next exercise is going to be our bird dogs. So what that is going to look like will be on our hands and our knees. I'm going to raise one arm out in front of us, and at the same time, I'm going to raise the opposite leg up behind us. So it should look like from our hand back to our foot is one nice straight line. Keeping that back nice and flat as we do so. 30 seconds on this one. Ready, and begin. Like I said, want that back to be nice and flat. So have to keep that core strong. So our head's going to be looking down towards the ground, not up towards in front of us. Don't want to put any strain on the neck. Going at your own pace here. Great work, everybody.
Time. Oh, sorry.
You're good. All right. Next one, we come up to our feet for our bent over rows. Grab our hand weights or our band. We have. You're using a band or weights, it's going to be the same position. So we're going to hinge slightly forward the hips, soft bend in the knees, and just keeping our torso nice and in a straight line with our head looking down towards the ground. Our weights are going to be hanging down in front of us or our band, and we're just going to pull with our elbows up towards the ceiling. We want to make sure we're not doing like a bicep curl and just pulling up with our biceps. But we're going to have to think about taking your elbows and raising them towards the ceiling until they're in a straight line parallel with the floor. 30 seconds on that one. Ready and begin.
Make sure you keep those elbows close to your sides and you're pulling them straight back.
That core nice and tight. You can bend at the knees a little bit more. That helps you.
10 seconds left.
Both legs together at the top.
And 3, 2, 1, time.
Perfect. Next exercise is going to be our front raises. We're going to keep that same shoulder width stance, nice and athletic, soft bend in the knees. Have our weights in front of us, palms facing in towards our bodies. We're going to be raising weights out in front of us till they're even with our shoulders, and then lowering the weights back down. If the weights you have are a little bit too heavy for this, you can do it without the weights, or you can bend your elbows a little bit, and the weight will be close to your body, and it'll be working out the shoulders just the same, just with less weight. 30 seconds on this one. Ready and begin. Making sure that as you come to the top, you're not shrugging the shoulders up towards your ear. We're going to keep the shoulders nice down and back. Just working out deltoids.
Anterior deltoids.
And 3, 2, 1, time.
Great work, everybody. That is the end of the first set. Go ahead, take your breath, grab some water, and we'll be back in 2 minutes. And here we go. Started off with our quad stretch. Pretty familiar with this one already, but we can do it one of two ways. You can be standing at a wall for balance if you need it. I'm going to bring heel towards our butt, pulling it in with our hand. You want to challenge, raise your hand towards the ceiling. The other way you can do it is down. So the lunge position, we'll be pushing our hips forward, keeping our torso nice, straight, upright. As we push those hips forward, stretching out the front of our leg. 30 seconds on each side. Ready and begin. Having a soft bend, if you're doing the standing one, in the leg that is straight, help you with that balance. Don't lock it out.
And 3, 2, 1, switch sides. Switch legs.
All right. 30 seconds on the other side. Ready and begin. Just as with our exercises, we want to make sure that we are breathing during our stretching. Nice deep breaths.
And 3, 2, 1, time.
Great work, everyone. Coming up standing for our hamstring stretch. You can do this with your feet close together, or you can spread them wider apart, or anywhere in between. We're not going to keep a nice straight back as we bend down, as if we're trying to touch our toes or put our hands on the floor. 30 seconds, ready, and begin. First 20 seconds, we're going to keep our torso nice and straight, head in line. Last 10 seconds, we'll drop down and just relax. Ernie, go ahead and call out the 10-second mark.
10 seconds left.
And relax down into the floor.
And 3, 2, 1, time.
Next is going to be our chest stretch. Do this standing, interlocking your fingers behind you, raising it up towards the sky, stretching out the front of the chest, working come to the wall or a doorway. Use it to do the same thing. 30 seconds, ready, and begin. Keep it up, everybody. Remember to breathe.
3, 2, 1, and time.
All right, last stretch is going to be our neck stretches. We can do this while seated or while standing. First one we're going to do is going to stretch out our SCMs. And that's going to be the muscle that comes down from just behind our ear all the way down to our clavicle. So what we're going to do to stretch that is we're going to look slightly up towards the left, tilting our chins, tilting our head slightly to the left, and we're going to push up our chins, and you should feel the stretch down the front of your neck. "30 seconds and begin." Not overly pushing, just enough to feel the stretch. Keeping your shoulders down and back.
And 3, 2, 1. Great job.
Time, moving on to the next side. We're going to tilt our heads to the right and look up, pushing with our hands till we feel that stretch down from our ear, down the front side of our neck. 30 seconds and begin.
And 3, 2, 1, time.
All right, just two more, stretching out the back of our neck. Again, we're going to tilt our head slightly to the left, put our hands on the top of our head, our left hand on the top of the head, and pulling down towards our left knee if we're seated. Should feel the stretch down the back, right side of your neck. 30 seconds and begin. Again, just until you feel that stretch. If there's any pain, back off out of the stretch.
And 3, 2, 1, and time.
Last one, switching sides, tilting our heads to our right, grabbing our heads with our right hand, bringing it down towards our right knee. Feel that on the left side of your neck, the base of your skull down into your back. 30 seconds and begin. Again, you should feel no pain with this. If you do, just back off until that pain goes away.
And 3, 2, 1. Great job, everybody.